はい、お願いします。Okay. Yeah. We'll stand up and stretch the legs for a bit. Just it. Space. Okay. The final frontier, so to speak. But let me settle. I'm standing here with a lot of thoughts, and my body wants to do this, my mind wants that. There's space. And that space is always going on, even though maybe sometimes things are tight. So just establishing that sense of space is important. Space tends to be, I can get this way, the space is expansive. I can be up here now. Space kind of has a kind of a ground to it, okay? And I can get pulled out there, but space kind of has its own balance with itself as gentle. It's just using the space, okay? Whatever level, right? Now, within that space, there's motion. Space, motion. Space, motion. Now, initially, I'm out there looking at the movements, but that space is something that you're a part of. So, boom. So that space exists, that motion exists, then it goes through you. Boom, goes through you. And that can kind of envelop or expand. And it can come back to the center, into the movement of energy, go that way and spiral, it can reverse. So we could be doing this as stretching, but we're kind of establishing the space, and there's motion. It's motion. The motion, for example, here, but continues. Rounds, rises again. Now from there, it kind of regrounds. So there are patterns of movement. This is more of what they call a toroidal. All self-sustaining systems are toroidal. Expands, goes back into itself, reintegrates, re-expands. This is what the world's supposed to be like. We're not supposed to wear out the climate. We're not supposed to wear out resources. And we're supposed to regather, recompost, reform. And conversely, that which goes down, plant seeds, trees come up. So there's motion. Once you establish space, there's movement. There's movement. And, you know, as you're moving your own system, mind's quieting down. Body is stretching. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's try. Okay, now from here, we oftentimes like steam rising. And I establish the space, there's movement in that space. I got to move. I got to establish the space, and there's motion. And we usually do it this way, but we can also do it this way. Steam rising. You can try to hold steam, but it's going to rise anyway. Okay. Okay, so let's we'll generate the steam. Okay, now that's a shape we use a lot, but I like to do a little bit. Establish the space, there's motion. Right? Establish the space, there's motion. Keep holding. Now here, as you raise it, it forms that one. But Both, for example. You know, life can get so heavy and contentious, but there are people that can lift your consciousness up. All right, they can't be up there. They've got to be fully present, but they understand the space. Okay, situation tense, heavy. But there's inspiration, there's light, there's hope, you know. Okay, so, all right, okay. Yeah, there's a little different shape than we usually work. For example, we usually kind of do this. This is a little different. Most of the time when you're in this way, right, you're actually working the down, but you could go the other way. You're feeling welcome rain. Okay? Yeah, and you know, this can be uplifting. Oh, I got to deal with all those. That's why I kind of like Stephen Curry. He's uplifted. You see that being, so the shape of the hand's a little different. Steam is rising. Yeah, when it gets high enough, it forms it goes, and you can work that here, just to, but sometimes we miss something. Yeah. Establish the space. There's motion in that space. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, what we're doing a little bit right here is, you know, for example, form itself. Okay. Now, usually we form this, but sometimes it's good to, you know, if this goes high enough, it goes this way. Now, for example, let's just say he's coming with a striking motion. All right. I don't want to meet that this way. You know, in that particular case, boom, strike, finish it, good. Because you're meeting the contact with here. You're not here. This is nice, you know, just a welcome rain. But a striking motion. Well, different attachment. Okay, right? But we're kind of playing a little bit here. Now we can do a little bit for this one. This is warm up with a roll. We can do this standing if you got this motion. Now, okay, counterintuitive. I go this way, but he bangs me with his knee. Okay, so we get this way. So I'm going this way, but the hands are directing him. I'm going that way. This is a free space here. And the shape changes. All right. Okay, now I'm going to go this way. Angle the body changes. Okay. So we can kind of warm up easy with some forward rolls off of this. Yeah. Let's do it. Now, counterintuitive. It opens up there and closes up behind you. Okay, so let's spread out. Okay. move a little further over there because we don't have a lot of people who'd be ashamed to have a head-on collision. Okay, but that's good. That's good. I'm trying to do the movement. There's a space and there's motion within that space. Very different. Okay, that's what's happening. Right. Now we're going to get some movement going this way. So it's kind of like a, okay. Right. Put the hands here. We need some rain, don't we? We really do. China's getting flooded. We're drying out. Something's wrong. Obviously, no. So this is president didn't help. You see that? Oh, wow. So right here, wouldn't that be uplifting? And then you do the same thing. Over here. Right from here. That one. Chicken. Look. We go this way kind of quick. Right. There's a lot of action this way. Now, you know, if you're coming with a heavy strike or something, boom, I definitely want that. I don't want to go like this, you know. Here, just wanting the laser beam. Boom. Right now, if I sidestep that, then right here, we're getting another form of that one. Right. But let's stay with the pattern for now, and we'll kind of. Right. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's check in a bit. Okay. And space. You may pick it up as a calm or a still or an open. I'm using the term space because it's now established space, there's motion. And a lot of times I'm going for movement, but something happens where I'm able to kind of establish something, a calm, a clear, a space, an open, and there's motion off of that. Now, the establishing of it is not a movement, more of an alignment. Okay? So one of the things here, for example, steam rising is a good one, all right? But on the other hand, steam rising, rain. Oh, thank you, universe. We need rain. We need moisture. We're drying out here in California. They're flooding in China. There's something out of balance. Now, when you hold this feeling, and that you'll feel the difference that, and I'm trying to move. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm moving, but what I really want to do is the clearer I get within that field, the more I take advantage of the energy moving in that calm or clear or space. Well, now we can, for example, go that way. Well, okay. If he lets go, which you might, just let go, let go. You change everything. You got something there. The part of the contract when you're holding, you kind of feel, you feel that. And then that motion. And feel that. I can think about it. I kind of know it. I know it, and I kind of feel it. But you want to be. There's a balance to you. As you establish the space, you standing in that space as more of a center ground. Boom, 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 boom. Or that was another movement in that space. Okay, but let's stay with this one right now. Okay? One hand. Oh, what we're doing is turn. Okay, so let's spread out. Different partner. Okay, now one of the things about it, I'm looking for where I should be. Space is space. It's right where you are. I'm looking for where I should be or who I should be. Right there. What you have to do is to be more right where you are as you. Who do I have to be? What do I have to do? I have to be right where I am. And the space moves. There's movement within the space. Okay, so it's a little. Now, what I like to do a little bit like this, a little different, because you're quick here. Let it develop. I'm going to eventually go there. Let's see, right here. Right here. I may need to play that. He's moving. Okay, good. I played it a little quick. You're running at me. Okay, then boom. Okay, I got to play that a little quicker. Okay, but just to get a better sense, because here I am trying to figure out. Like this hand lets me know how this hand should feel. All right, then we can get it. We got that motion. I want you to kind of delay the blade because we always go to the blade. Well, let's see. Wait. Which of it goes here? Too quick. All right. I know the answer, but I don't know how I got it. Okay. Okay. Therefore, I can't explain it. I know it's right, but nobody else. I don't know. Yeah, it's right, but how'd you get that? I don't know. No, that but right here, for example, if you're moving here, okay, we can set it up that way. Or you're here, you can set it up here. There's a lot of different moves that come out of it if you stand up or something like that. That, by the way, is a different move, right? All those things are eddies and currents in that space, and we give them names, and we call them techniques and everything. But as we get a little more, like right about here, come on in this one, good. It's kind of a protective quality. You know, and you know how to roll and you know how to handle that situation, so you're safe. And conversely, instead of trying to figure out what to do with you, I say, we just say, okay, all right. Okay, let's go. Delay the hand, hold it. Yeah, now this way. Yeah, yeah. Now you form the blade. You got a lot more time than your know. Keep going. Now for the next one. That's better. Well, we're going to make you a waiter. This is your tray. You don't want to do this. You're going to drop it. All right. Now, eventually, you're going to take the dishes off and serve the dish. So right here, I just. Right. So. Now that's usually the way the play looks. Okay. Well, let's just say basketball is called a lob threat. Keep holding. You get to be honest. Catch that and dunk it. Isn't that cool? And I'm the guy that throws the pass, that lob, right where you can catch it and put it where it needs to go. I throw it too quick. Now let you catch up to it and put it where only you can get it. Hold it, keep holding. Right there. Yeah. Now, boom. Don't rush it. I don't want to rush a lob. In fact, you know, it's kind of like, no, we have to be telepathically connected where you know I'm going to throw it above the rim for you. Otherwise, it's going to go out of bounds. That was a lousy shot. No, it's a lob. Right? And just for you. Oh, palm up. Okay, yeah, don't rush the lob. You've got to be quick and you've got to be able to sky, but on the other hand, person throwing that has got to do it at the right time so you recognize it's for you and you only, and you know you're supposed to get it and dunk it. Okay, and that's a very good play when you got somebody like Giannis who can out jump everybody. And out maneuver everybody. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's you know that's kind of you know two hands. A little easier with this. There's motion. Hear that motion. Steam rising, whatever you want to call it. You know, all drifting, whatever. All right. Keep going. Okay. Let's take a quick look. Alignment. Okay. You can also ground here. I have good habits. I'm going for ground and I'm going to form this motion. I don't have the space. When I don't have the space, I don't get that movement that happens in that space. So since I said it's misogi, why? Because Oh, right here. There's ground. It kind of works. But on the other hand, I go, I gotta do this. Well, guess what? I kind of tense up, I lose the space before I may approximate what I saw, but I'm not taking advantage of the flow, the aliveness of what moves in that space. Chi, whatever you want to call it. Chi, energy, life force, the universe, you know. So, doesn't mean get down. You go around and kick your back leg and make sure that you are a good soldier. No, I'm a theoretical physicist, but I know my math. That's about what it is, right? I can get too carried away with this stuff. It kind of works. And then somebody says, your technique is total crap. You got no base. And I'm down here and I'm well-intentioned. Maybe some guy wants me to look like him. So, okay. Okay. Goes up, comes down, gathers back into you. So after a while, you just clear, well, more of that, whatever moves when you are the space to show itself. When you get clearer, my mind starts to kind of quiet down, my body relaxes, okay? Sometimes people get too much into the dramatic effect of it, but you know, it's like boom, 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 boom. A lot of movement. You want that movement sometimes to be like a river that's very, very fast, but clean. And sometimes you want the movement to be like a river. It's kind of gentle. But there's you in that space, that river, the image that comes up is of that movement that happens when you become the space or the calm or the clear, or sometimes it shows you the dark. If you relax a bit, you get things like roots there. The dark usually shows when you need something. You should kind of find it. You find out, oh, that was a lack. So don't panic with the dark. Dark shows, then all of a sudden, I need a bit more ground. Okay. Now I'm back to the space again. Okay. So let's, I'm not saying those are two extremes. Okay. Like I'd be a horrible theoretical physicist. I don't have the math. You know, could I have had the math? Yeah. I took a math appreciation class my last year where I could have some fun. Okay. And what I found out was that the guy who was teaching, he was giving me these weird things. I found that was his research. He was giving me his research questions. And, you know, and I said, I don't think I answered him very well. He says, but you gave me some really good ideas. You see what I mean? I didn't know anything about that. So that was really advanced math, but he kind of liked my work. So he started giving me these weird questions. I thought, I'm giving you my personal research stuff. I said, really? Me? So I didn't really have the math to do his research, but I did have a certain sort of imagination, like, wow, this is kind of interesting, even though it's weird. Dance math is weird, okay? But here, you have the math to work, the algorithms, space, there's motion. You keep your alignment in it. It can't just be up here and out there. But not say you get heavier and whatever it is, because the flows are, you know, he tries to lift. I got to get heavy. He tries to lift. It's not heavy or light. It's just energy that moves. It adjusts to what he's doing. If he tries to lift up, you know, it kind of gets a little more solid underneath him. After a while, you trust clear or the space. And, you know, if he's coming in this way, so if he come this way, okay, we'll go this way. Let me go this way. Well, it's just movement within that space. You call it Shihonage, or maybe go there next. But a little bit more. I'm saying ground is position, which means we're not just here. Your body's easy with itself as your mind clears. You have enough of this. Okay? All right? Let's go one more time, then we'll change what we're doing. Let it develop. You know that you're supposed to allow, but the situation says allow. You let the situation, yeah, this is, ideally, if you're still around, this is where Steph throws it with really wise men together. That's appropriate time for the youngster can't mess it up. Oh, good. Oh, yes. Boom. Ah, the timing. Don't rush. Okay, all right. Safe. That was good. Safe, clear. Safe, clear. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What was Lawyer's clamp lift? This is where I think the story should go. That's clear. So what we're doing is playing with this, transforming this. So good. See, if you get hit here, I don't care. Because the space adjusts and the flow kind of, you know, basically has a meter that naturally adjusts itself. And I do it. Okay. All right. Oh, we're not Superman, but Superman wouldn't care if somebody grabbed the shit. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're not Superman. It's more of an energy moving type of thing. Okay. Let it lighten up. Palm is up. Palm is up. No, sit back here. When you go this way, you go this way. You're a waiter. You're a starving writer. Well, you probably had to get a secondary job. You're not like you, but no lift. Steam rising. Okay. Steam rises. Now that's a lifting elbow. Seam like it. And now, instead of thinking about trying to do it through the space, there's motion in the yes. It's very close at all times. Right. Right. It's very close at all times. Okay. Too quick. Yeah, I get the right answer. Yeah, I make a sale. But I don't create Elric. Okay, you see the difference right there? Yeah. Okay. Better now. Pause for a second. Still trying to do it out there. Be the space. There's motion. Yes. Yeah. Okay, now you're trying to do it out there. Space and there's motion. Yes. Now doing that consistency is where the training is. Okay, but that you're right there. You don't go anywhere. Who do I have to do? What do I have to do? Let be the space and let the energy rise like steam. And he does it much better than I do with all my work and all my thinking and everything. Okay? All right. Better. Yeah, follow through. Yeah. Once you got them going, follow through. Just, just getting that first part. Yeah. Okay. Now, sometimes we go that way. We go this way. This is this way. I think I got to this. Right? Well, what do you do if somebody grabs you and it's really heavy on you? Okay, you get, maybe what you do is you've got something, if somebody grabs onto you, they're going to wrestle you down. But you've got a gear they don't know about. If somebody's going to take you down or something like that. Bend your elbows and murder the body. Okay. Okay, good. And I'm going to do this. No, this is what I'm going to do. I got a gear nobody knows about. It's called key. Right? I don't know what I was going to say, but he had an ally that most people don't have. It's called the universe. So, I've always liked that approach. Of course, I'm going to get you a better wrestler or whatever it is. If somebody comes in, I'm not going to out wrestle them, but we got this, and we got this, we got this. And the movement, okay, do that one, or we can do another one. But it starts off with that, doesn't it? If it's with the body, I'm thinking he's going to be lower his elbow, get heavy. Okay, now we can make him heavier than he expects to be. All right, or conversely, if he's going to do that, that's like a little bit. You have an ally nobody knows about. It's called energy. All right, and you know how to get to it where it moves for you. It's like a genie. Genie, come save me. All right. Okay. I need that. For example, here, we could go here. We're going to come here. Okay. Come on into the body. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll try this one. Be careful on this one because we haven't stretched the wrists in a while. So, if you want to take a second or two and give yourself a twist here and a twist there. The body is important, there's a point where we, in fact, the actual sense when you're kind of standing in the space, you can't do it from just your mind and thinking about it. Imagination is not mental. Einstein He put himself in his thought experiments. I'm moving at the speed of light. I'm going to shave at the mirror because I see myself, because everything I see is light being reflected back. But if I am moving at the speed of light, would there be a reflection? He didn't go, he didn't come up with that stuff, other than the fact his imagination helped him. So it's more important than what you know. And even though he was a theoretical physicist with math that wasn't the best, he got to a place most people can't. Essentially, it was that way in another realm of martial arts, right? Right. But I'm willing to bet that it'll simply solve something that Einstein didn't. It's called the unified field theory. But he didn't show it with that. He showed it with all these diagrams and his movement and everything. There we go. Yeah, what a weird old man. I just want to come here and sort of sweat and get a workout, get my technique stronger. And he was trying to say, trying to show you who you are and how the universe really is and how we can live according to the universe's laws and create all this harmony that doesn't exist in this world right now. Okay, I thought that would be my sense of them. Okay, so anyway, let's stand up and stretch. Now what we're going to do, okay, is a switch where, somebody grabs you through the body. All right, all right. Pull, push, pull, push. You, after a while, you have an ally with that energy movement. Okay, good. Somebody gets low and they kind of want to test you out. They're good. All right. You got something going for them. They're just not in there. They know about movement. They know about, the body, and but they may not have any sense of this dimension. Well, let's just say he's grabbing this. I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, but I'm going to distract. Now, all right, now we're going to right here. What if I turn my hip before I turn the wrist over? And then it gives me the freedom to go here. Well, he stands up, my energy goes high, and then he's. But if I find that place, the way we're kind of doing, he grabs both hands, it's just steam rising. Well, what is this? This is rain falling and forming a puddle. I'm going to cover that. If I go here, creates space. Look. Rain continues to fall. And I have a jacket. If I turn it inside out, a raincoat. Now here, I feel his weight, but I'm going to feel the rain forming that puddle underneath both his feet and mine. Now he's taking a bath. Okay, so we're just going to switch to the easy on the wrist to start until you start to stretch. Now, receiving that, ouch! Keep blending with the rain. Feeling the puddle forming underneath. Okay, right. Let's change partners. Kata dori mitsu. Yeah, this is a good one because this can be a real heavy motion. Well, now, there's another heavy segue, but it's okay to hit. So we can. Then we reposition and we get in the shoulder thing. But there's that rain, and I'm feeling the puddle forming. So, what is that? What's the movement of the energy in the space or the column that's clear? Yeah, we get images sometimes. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, right there, I'm kind of feeling the puddle. I'm feeling the rain going out. That allows me to go over here. But since it's raining, I need to turn my jacket inside out. I'm going to change position. And that's a twist. It's strong. Oh, we're going to get the space. See what I mean? Now, the rain. And we're both experiencing both the rain and the puddle. That's coming here. You're working this before. Now this also works. Okay. Just you're coming in this way, you're coming here. Or, now, for example, if you twist your wrist too much that way, okay, too much time. So we're going to do something like this. Or come on in, twist it in there. Some people do it that way, twist it. It's better to do that. If you twist it like that, we can work it. It just takes a lot more energy. You get somebody in the class who's kind of just messing with you that way. You don't have to punch them out. Just realize the problem is not you. Okay, one of those. Cool. That's actually an area of growth, right? But you know, if you just from here, just in here, right? Now, if you're solid, you got some weight here. What I just remember turn my hips before I turn. I got to remember to turn the engine on before I start with the steering wheel. Now, what's important here is right here, I don't want to put the brakes on. Fuel the engine, fuel the tires, fuel the whole system kind of working. So it's, you know, after a while you get a feel for it. It's some level of a full system, as opposed to, you know, happens when it's clear. Energy is organized depending on what the situation is. And, you know, you may get them in images and stuff like that. That's good. Means you're following what Albert said. Imagination is more important than knowledge. If you're coming in this direction, then we go this way. If you're coming in this direction, boom, just a quick motion. It's good. Now, if you're coming in this direction, okay, the motion goes. It's good. Yeah, you have to know the move. The thing I got so caught up in knowing the movement, running into all this stuff out there, that I don't clear either space where the energy is to move. Okay, and what a shame. Most people kind of get good at the technique out there, and they don't really establish. But when you can do that, you're finding you. You see what I mean? Other than that, you're following somebody else's routine that somebody taught you. If you're clear, then see, we can actually go here. This work, you know. Or if you're coming in, so we go this way. A lot of different things we could do here. If you're coming in this direction, right? Yeah, we could do Aikido there. From Aikido, you know, or Converse, we're not going to do it today, but sort of, you know, you find this change here. Well, you rotate you, and all of a sudden, you know, you've got this change right there. Okay? All energies are organized. You know, we learn the movement, and we get stuck getting it better. So ultimately, you just want to be able to clear and let the energies move as you become the space of clear. So, you know, in a sense, if it's misogi, it doesn't mean the technique. In fact, what I find is, you know, I get in the way most of the time, and I get too smart with stuff. Right. And so, you know, if we're here, and you know, right here. Now we just did what we, you know, we're not normally bend that elbow. And yeah, you know. It takes longer. It takes more energy. So if you're doing those, you to kind of go with you. If you want to wait 4 times, maybe I can amass the energy to do that, you know, but it takes more effort than I want. Yeah. So clear. You can feel. the movement that organizes through you when you start to clear or get calmer and more open. And it's very alive. You see what I mean? And instead, you know, rain kind of, we're both feeling the rain, we're both standing in a puddle. Right? We're just looking at it from two different perspectives. All right? Einstein's relativity, he's the UK. But the UK feels the movement maybe in a way that the Nage doesn't. And initially, Nage looks at it and sees all this stuff, but the UK starts to feel, you know, the energy moving, which is the down, and starts to feel the pool, which is where all our energies wind up. And then they recycle, of course, but you know that's another matter. Okay. But when we start to do that, you know, that's what we do. Okay, so the Nikyos are heavier moves. If he's coming in this direction, see this is a Shihonage movement. Same thing, you know, all of a sudden I go here and then. If he comes in, remember this one? Yeah. It gives me a lot of time to step under the wrist. Yeah. This is Shihonage, of course. Technique can get very physical and heavy. And, you know, some of that just, you know, phase you go through, but ultimately we want to be able to handle the heavy from a different place. You may feel very heavy to somebody, right? Somebody is, you know, going to lift or something like this. It's like, oh, it may feel a little heavy, but it may feel like it's a different heavy than he's used to. He's not rocking out heavy, and it's just almost like, you know, if you're kind of coming in this direction, right? Or if you're coming in this direction, you're going to lift or something like that. You know, it's heavy, but it's not heavy in the way that you think of heavy. You know? And if you try to lift or something like that, and that's again when you get the clear or the calm or the settle or something people as a stillness, but there's movement within that stillness. And then if we get the stillness, the movement becomes clearer. So we do a Shihonage or we do a Kokyuho or whatever it is. We're studying not just the movement, but we're studying how to get to the clear. You know, since I said, you know, it's right where you are. I'm looking for it. Who do I have to be? That's right where I am. All right. Yeah. Right where we are. That's why it's easy to miss. Right where you are, you can clear or settle, become a little calmer. And you should do that. The force is organized for you. Since at his level, it's all calming. At my level, they're not quite that, but you know, they're but the energy is organized. There's an aliveness. If you come this way, and all of a sudden the energies go that way, you know, right at this particular point. I don't want to feel knocked down or dominated. I want to feel that he's part of the team. And we're really in the same field of energy, the same field of harmony. Right. And you know, yeah, there's an aliveness there. It's a martial form. And he's kind of looking at it from this viewpoint. You know, he's the particle and the wave, and we trade roles. You see? Yeah. You look at it, the universe from a particle standpoint, you look at it from a wave standpoint. Ultimately, depending, you know, subatomic level, there depends on how you want to measure it, you know. But if it's too particle, and I'm missing the wave part of it. And if I get a little too wavy, you know, like, oh, there's the particle center. You see? I mean, you know, since we talked about heaven and earth, we could sort of go into particle waves. I mean, it's just, you know, I mean, it's the universe, you know, we're talking about, right? Okay. 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 Good. Yeah. So one of the things here, just a good habit sometimes, you know, just to clear or settle in. That space is always going on. And sometimes you tend to think, okay, well, you got to get there. I got to be this. You're already there. It's hard to do. You got to know enough to realize that when you are the space, the energy is organized for you. The energy is doing much better than me, training all these years, In fact, by the time you're my age, you're going this way. Because your legs don't work as much, but, whatever. I'm still sitting. I'm not going to do Wada right now, but I can do it. I don't take as many falls because it's sort of my job to get you guys moving a bit. Okay? Right? Does that make any sense? And, what was it? Yeah, the guy who won the MVP last night, 50 points, Giannis, said something interesting. He defined humility. He said, live in the past, that's ego. Living in the future, that's pride. Living in the present, that's humility. Ultimately, you're being very humble because you're just clearing and letting the energies organize through you. You're important. They don't organize. I mean, it's just movement, okay? But you step into that calm and you learn that the force is organized for you. I mean, I'm a caregiver these days, and when I've got to empty the bedpan, that's a pain in the butt. I try to calm, and it happens. And that's practice. I'm like, no, John, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to make another cup of coffee. Space. Grind the beans, microwave the water, get the filters out. Okay. It's not the same as Aikido. Aikido is a bit more fun. But on the other hand, it's practice, isn't it? Because I got this negative association with stuff I don't want to do when I feel like I'm running. But that's a combination of ego and pride. And so if you follow what the MVP of the NBA playoffs says, is okay, what's humility? Is living in the present. Where's that feel, that calm going on? Right here, right now. Where do those forces organize? Through you, right here, right now. I thought, he probably stole it from some Zen thing, but she said it, and he's a top athlete. It was, oh, Giannis is a Zen master. Yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah, it's something to think about. Past, ego, future, pride, humility. Yeah, it's humble sometimes not to rely on your knowledge or your development, just clear and let the energies come through you. Okay? And then here, what they create with your partners form a harmony. They're martial forms or Aikido. Okay, anyway, let's stand up for a second. Stretch the legs. Now, there's something that, we got a minute or two. Sound. Clear. Silence mainly here. Let's just try that. Nobody's gonna, if you don't feel like it, don't do it. But silence, the space, the sound, better. Go back to the stillness, go back to the space. Again. And again. Somebody kind of read the future. We're going to do O next. Okay? O to start. O. O tends to be O. U. Interior. So since they had its patterns, okay, we're not going to do the full thing. So let's go O together. But I'm going to do the sound, the space, the calm, the clear. Again. Good. Now, what I'd like you to do, we're going to do the combination all. But again, I'm going to do it, the space, the calm, the silence. And when you do this, you're kind of getting more into the space because we're not wrestling with each other, okay? We're going to do one more sound. We're going to odd, oh, we're going to do the ooh, ooh sound with the interior. And check. So I do a couple of sounds, the actual space itself becomes more experiential. It's still, I feel the calm. I feel clearer because I'm not thinking all these stupid thoughts that everybody else is thinking, and I just plug into. I start to think that way too. Okay. So, essentially, that was one of his major practices was the chanting. Okay. Anyway, it's time. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, remember on Sundays, we're doing Sundays not at the park anymore. We're actually here, okay? It's same time though, 11:30 to 1. And what I'd like everybody to do, since we're here, we need to get used to the cleaning. Okay, now what I do since I lock up, I kind of disinfect doorknobs and light switches and the bathroom contact areas. But if we need to get the disinfectant on the mat, we have a couple of those things you attach those things to, the squeegee things, and we need to kind of do that. And I couldn't figure out how to turn the fans on because I don't know where that plug is going, but somehow they don't turn on. So if somebody, a couple of better mechanical geniuses than I have no idea what it is because the stuff is right there. If you can figure it out, you're smarter than I am. Okay, so let's do that. Okay.